Hello, my name is Trevor Simon. This is my audience.
A
The world of intercollegiate athletics is growing faster than it has ever before. The revenue generated from collegiate athletics is beyond what most could imagine. The University of Alabama's football team generated $123,769,841 in 2008. Players spend countless hours perfecting their craft and honoring their skills. The fans are relentless and want wins, championships, and success. The world of college sports is one of the richest industries in the country, and the ones who make it all work do not receive any of the profit. College athletes should receive payments during the season of their sport because of the amount of time and energy athletes spend on practice, games, and that. In this speech, I'm going to inform you guys specifically about the many reasons why student athletes should be paid, opposed to why I should keep the same and shouldn't be paid. I know a lot over this topic because I'm a student athlete, and this topic is brought up quite frequently over the time I've stepped on campus. We go through so much more than the regular student would ever imagine. Juggling a full-time sport with 15 credit hours of classes is very difficult. It doesn't allow us the time for us to work a regular job to get money. I also think it's fair enough for us to get paid because we bring so much to a university. I believe this subject is valuable information because the amount of money brought into it in university is quite absurd. If it weren't for the student athletes, then the university would never come close bringing in that kind of money. It is also important that everyone becomes educated and open to this idea because not only do student athletes help the university, it also helps out the economy around them. In this speech, I'm going to cover the facts and information over why student athletes should be paid. I'll also be discussing how much benefits student athletes bring to the table. There are those who oppose my point and believe that college athletes should not be treated any different than the normal student. We can't complain about our nation's falling education status if we continue to spend millions on sports and shortchange academics. It's time to put our money where our mouth is. At the same time that I believe this point is true, I also believe that college athletics fund a lot of schools' academic enhancements. The money generated from the intercollegiate sports can pay for new classrooms, libraries, and other improvements that may contribute to academic success. College athletes are not just athletes. The label is a student athlete, and the student is put first for a reason. Student athletes have to graduate just like everyone else, and are oftentimes held to a higher standard academically than a normal student. There are minimum GPA requirements and regular class checks. Sports are always going to be important in athletes' lives, but that does not mean academics take a back seat. The second main point I'm going to talk today about is common sense. It seems to dictate that college athletes are already paid, just not in cash. Some say they are given scholarships that provide free tuition, books, or for meals. Andy Schwartz and Don Rasher apparently assume that paying college athletes would take away from the game and that they already receive enough support from the respective universities. Athletes do get a lot of financial support with free tuition, however, they gain much more than tuition for the school. The school receives national attention and exposure through athletics. Enrollment goes up when a sports team is performing better because in today's day and age, society thrives on competition and athletics. Athletes that receive scholarships still do not receive any money to help for emergencies like a car issue, family illnesses, or anything like that. They cannot even pay the travel expenses for family members to come watch a game or go home and see family. Students have opportunities to receive the same aid as well as athletes do. There are many students that receive scholarship money due to high GPAs or test scores. They get to focus all their time on studying and try to maintain that GPA to be accepted into their graduate school of choice. If they need money, they can always get a job, or student athletes cannot get jobs because of the time commitment they have in both school and athletics. Therefore, paying the athletes seems almost necessary to cover emergency financial needs. The third main point I'm going to talk today are just the obvious reasons behind why student athletes should be paid. One could argue that college athletes should receive payment for their sport. Christina Peterson published an article in the New York Times about the amount of injuries sustained in collegiate athletics that leave the players with the huge amounts of medical expenses to pay for after graduation. This is a great point and is one of the many may not think of. Some sports are very dangerous and oftentimes all sports can lead to injury, sometimes serious injuries. College is a very college football is a very dangerous sport, and every year someone is paralyzed. A couple years back in college basketball, Kevin Ware out of Louisville suffered a compound fracture in which his tibia was coming out of the leg. Types of injuries like these do happen to athletes and will suffer from these the rest of their lives. Endless surgeries are required from many athletes, and after graduation, it is on their dime. Medical bills can cause serious financial issues, and if the school will not pay for surgeries after the athlete has graduated, athletes will encounter these issues. It is not fair to put that kind of financial burden on them while performing tasks that were not being compensated for. Athletes should be compensated during their playing careers, and medical aid should be provided to those who require it from injuries sustained while playing in college sports. The last point I want to talk about is from the Iowa State University head basketball coach. He suggests that all colleges donate a small portion of their salaries to help fund the way for the student athletes. This was a very highly supported idea, and coaches from Nebraska's football program started a petition to be able to give players around $2,000 a year to cover travel and incidentals. Nebraska's governor said that he would sign the bill to make it legal to give the stipend to athletes. However, it was not able to go through due to the NCAA, saying that Nebraska's athletes would be deemed ineligible if they paid. NCAA went over to the governing body of the state and turned down the legislation to keep college athletes from receiving money. In conclusion to my speech, the small stipend that athletes will receive from getting paid to play their sport in college will not hurt the university or the NCAA at all. It will help them out more than anything. Student athletes are here for a reason, and it's to bring attention to their university. If they are the ones bringing the attention, do you think it's right for them to get a little benefit from it? I hope this presentation I was able to inform you guys on the importance of why student athletes should be paid. Personally, being a student athlete is very difficult, and having a little weekly income would benefit us more than anyone ever know. Thank you for listening. Have a good rest of your day.